fast forward, I'm 16 years old. It's the day before my junior prom, and my mom has a major aneurysm. So they tell us she's not going to live through the night. She's going to die. So here, my dad's like 40 years old.
Wow.
And he's got 5 kids, you know, and they're like, bring the kids in. This is what's going to happen over the next 24 hours as your mom passes. So she does.
Welcome to the Visibility Room, on air and off script. Hey, everybody. It's Karyl Morris here at the Image Impact Group and the Visibility Room, on air and off script. And I have with me the woman formerly known as the Symbol. Just kidding. I have with me Melinda Ann, Prince, in parentheses, O'Neill.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. And you have such a cool story and a cool life and busy life. But before we dig into a bunch of things, tell us a little bit about what you actually do in your professional life and who you serve.
Sure. Thank you for that. And I love the Melinda Ann Prince. I was going to say, I was going to have to tell my husband, Dr. O'Neill, that I've moved on, and this is how you find out about it. So Melinda Ann O'Neill, I'm from the area. I have a daughter who lives in Detroit. I grew up in Ypsilanti, so I live in Belleville now. And I work in cybersecurity. So I work for Island, which is an enterprise platform. So that's what I do sort of in my day to day.
Yes.
My philanthropic side, I do a ton. I volunteer a lot,
Yeah.
bunch of different things I'm sure we'll talk about at some point.
Yes.
I'm a living kidney donor. So I donated a kidney, and Gift of Life Michigan and the National Kidney Foundation is near and dear to my heart. And then I have 7 kids and a grandbaby. So
because why not?
I'm bored. I'm super
Do you have a dog
bored.
or a cat?
I have
Goldfish?
We have 2 hairless cats. They're my daughters.
No.
I think she'll be moving out this summer. But they've been with us for like 10 years. And then Elton John is our little French bulldog.
Oh my gosh.
Total
Stop
jerk.
everything.
I know, right?
You should have brought him.
I should.
You should have brought
I
him.
know, but he
Elton
doesn't
John,
listen.
Starring Elton John and Prince.
I think it's because he only speaks French. Maybe he just
Oh
he's
no.
a French bulldog.
Lord. Yeah.
But he's stubborn. He's funny.
Well, we're going to dig into all the good stuff because I really do appreciate all the things that you've done, that you do for others, and just your vibe, Melinda Ann.
Yay.
But we're going to start with some rapid fire questions. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Don't think too hard. Just
Okay.
top of mind. Here we go. What's the first impression you want others to have of you?
Oh, positivity. I smile a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. I got braces late as an adult, and I got gold because I was like, why not? I'm an adult. Because my teeth were really crooked. So I wanted to smile as a child, and I didn't very much. So the minute I had straight teeth, it's on.
Oh, I like that. That's so cool. What a
know.
good story, right? Okay. What's your favorite way to communicate with people, in person or digitally?
In person, work-wise, digitally though, because I work, for a cybersecurity company, and I find that prospects, customers we're reaching out to, they're behind their desks, they're in IT, and they're like, I don't want to see, don't come into my office. We can do this online. Personally, I love events. I love being at events. My family's around me constantly, so I'm a people person.
Okay.
I'm a twin. I wasn't even in the womb alone.
That's
like, I need people in my life.
I forgot about, are you guys identical or fraternal?
Fraternal. Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. What builds credibility faster? Expertise, presence, or consistency?
Presence.
Why do you say that?
So expertise, you can have hundreds and hundreds of experts in a room, but it doesn't mean you're credible, right?
Yes.
Depending on, I guess my husband is he's Dr. O'Neill, right? He's got his, PhD in psychology and whatnot. He's really smart, right? But it doesn't mean you can trust him. I can trust you, Jim. But, so I would say presence, just you being there.
Yeah.
People who see you can talk to you, can read your body language, your eyes. It says so much about you. So credibility is, it only goes so far. Presence for sure.
So how do you think, kind of playing on that, how do you think the consistency part factors in?
As a part B, consistency to me is part B. So I'll use mentoring, for instance, right? So I show up and I'm mentoring you and we're wonderful. We have a great vibe. Along with that, then you need to be consistent about it. Then you need to meet with this person over and over again to prove it. But early on, you have to be present.
Yes.
In order to be consistent.
Yeah, for them to buy in initially, right? And then you got to back it up.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like. Okay. What is a trust killer that you often see?
A trust killer.
In business?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have been lucky in that I've worked for companies that I believe in. So I've also been lucky in that I haven't really had to look for a job. I've done well, and recruiters will reach out when they know you've done well, or referrals or what have you. So once you work for a company where you don't feel good about what you're selling, and you sell something to somebody that maybe isn't what they thought it was, your trust is gone, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's along the lines of lying as well, right? You know, when you lie
by omission,
right? Exactly. It's really hard to regain that trust.
Or the old bait and switch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And where I'm at in cybersecurity is sales. I'm on the sales side of things. So being honest with people, that is first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the thing is too, is that people try and take shortcuts and things, and it just comes back to haunt you. We were talking about that earlier today. We were talking about handicapped parking spaces. And if you have a handicapped placard, right, because you're helping somebody else and they're not in the car, do you still use it? And everybody said, no, that's like the worst, like that's bad mojo. Don't do that. It will come back to haunt you somehow. And that really, it's shortcuts don't work.
Yeah.
Take the time, be present, be consistent, have your credibility speak for itself.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. I get off on a tangent on these things. All right. Number one leadership lesson that you have learned along the years.
Oh my goodness. Be present for your people. Speak to your people, right? So I've had leaders, I've worked for giant companies who, if you reach out as an employee number 6,322, it goes unnoticed, right? Yeah. I will say, and I keep going back to Island because that's where I live today, right? But I'll say this as a parent as well. Be there for your people. Like we can literally use Slack as our communication channel. We can Slack our CEO. He's the founder, and he will reply.
Oh, that's awesome.
That just speaks volumes to who you are. Same as a parent, right? And let your kids. So I have seven kids, right? That means I have to rank them. If we're on a boat and we're going down, somebody's getting saved last, right? It behooves you to be
the hairless cat is in the water.
But let them all know how important they are.
Yes.
Right? Answer them all the same way you would answer. You can't have favorites.
Yes.
I don't have favorites.
All right, I need to know the age range. 7 kids.
They're all old. So I started as a teenager, right? I didn't have a bank account before I had a baby. So 31 to 20.
Wow.
And then the granddaughter's 5 years old.
Oh my gosh. How fun though. I mean, what a fun family. It's got to be a fun family vibe because you're in the leadership role of the old family.
Having roommates that don't pay rent. I mean, it's just having adults around all the time.
Every day is a party at Melinda's house.
Fun.
Okay, so back to what you actually do, which is AI. How is AI, or cybersecurity is what you do, but how is AI playing a role in your industry now? What does that look like? Because it's a little bit daunting just in general. And then to think it has to do with security from a outsider looking in. I don't know how I love that.
I know. And it's so fun because AI is literally everywhere, right? You don't have the option to not participate. Yeah. So as a corporation, you either accept everything AI related, you block everything AI related, or you make it work for you, right? And you can teach your people how to make it work for them. So I would say the latter, right? You have to welcome it in. You can't block it all. Yeah. You just probably cannot. It's too difficult. So whether it's agentic, shadow, whatever AI it is, embrace it, but make it work for you. So we are a platform. I'll say the best way to describe, if you don't work in IT, Island as an enterprise browser. And people are like, why would I pay for an enterprise browser when I can use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge for free, right? So 5-6 years ago, our founder, and he was the president of Symantec, CTO at McAfee, and our other founder who has dozens and dozens of patents under his belt, but RBI is one of probably the most famous ones. So they came together and thought, what if we created a browser for the business, to where the browser you're on today, and it's the most commonly deployed application you use, is public facing, right? So your kids use it, your grandkids use it, your grandparents use it. People are buying things on it. It's full of ads, right? It's set up for a consumer. It's consumer based. And then as a corporation, you've put your private data on it, and then you buy a bunch of security tools to protect it. They said, what if we created a browser with those security controls and features built right in? Boom. It was like one of those moments where when Spanx was created and you were like,
how did we last?
Yes, how did we
last for
live?
so long? Right?
Yes. But so with that, because we are the platform that everything sits on top of, AI definitely plays a role in that.
Okay.
So what we're just talking to our customers about today, and it comes up over and over and over again, AI is you're probably gonna have to embrace it. It's too difficult to block all of it. Let us show you how you can embrace it in a safe way.
Awesome. So for you in particular, because I know that you said, a lot of your meetings are through Zoom and, or whatever platform, platform.
It is Zoom.
Yeah. Are you working with people all over the country, across different countries, here in Michigan? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, for me, so Island Works, we're worldwide, so we have offices everywhere. For me personally, I manage the state of Michigan, so all of my all of the corporate offices are located in Michigan, but I speak with people, like they're in Germany, they're in China, they're wherever. We're on a virtual call, so they're all over the place, but the actual corporate office would be sitting in Michigan.
Okay, very cool. All right, so this next question, I want it to be the Alliance of Chanel Women so badly, but it is the Alliance of Channel Women, and you're very involved with that. The events and just the focus of it. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I'd say today we changed the name to Chanel Women and we just shop. That would be ideal for me.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Right
Somerset,
up my alley. Somerset, here we come.
So the Alliance of Channel Women is a group of women in IT. So it started on the telecom side and we kind of embraced cybersecurity. And it's really just all women. We'll say mostly in sales, but there could be marketing, what have you. But the channel. So the Alliance of Channel Women boosts and lifts women within the IT sales community and channel community. We work together, we raise each other up, and it's a support group, basically. It is nationwide, so I manage the Michigan chapter. Phenomenal group. I've been a part of it since I think for probably about 6 years now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we have about 52, 53 members, so we're growing. We do have men who are our allies, but for anybody who doesn't know what the channel is, if you're in sales, the channel works together. So especially on the telecom side, you usually have a master agent who holds your paper.
Okay.
And then you have people who purchase off the paper, right? So it's like sort of like the vendor, the VAR, and then you have all the people around it. So we work together. It behooves us to be friendly and to work together and to help one another. And then the support is there because you do have people in the channel who are competitors. You have hundreds of companies who probably are competing against each other, but you would never know that coming to one of our events because we all come together. We just had an event at the Detroit Athletic Club.
Oh, phenomenal.
Last month. It was wonderful. It was like kind of our 2026 inaugural event. We try to do one in person every quarter. It's just a support group and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that. And it's okay to have competitors in the same room as you.
Yes.
Because really, it's a piece of the pie, right? And shout out to Brenda Meller because she talks about a piece of the pie. There is enough for everybody to go around. And we're stronger when we have those conversations and build those connections. You might have an idea that just isn't going to work for your particular industry or situation, but it might help somebody else, and that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And I would imagine, again, going back to a mom of 7 kids, you have to embrace the help. Let's help one another. Let's have conversations to see how much further, we can get, right? So that's really awesome. So how long has the organization been around?
Oh gosh, she's testing me now.
Yeah.
Well before I came along, I want to say, probably totally wrong. I want to say 20 years. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll have to you Googleize that. We'll Google it.
We'll Googleize it.
I have been a part of it for about 6 years.
Okay.
But well before I came along.
Yeah. And event-wise, what do they strive to do? I know you just said that they were at DAC. What other things do they do?
That's the great thing I think about ACW is we can be as creative as we want with events. So like right now, a lot of the women in my chapter are at channel partners right now in Vegas. Oh. They're all there at this giant expo and they're together. We have a huge ACW event there.
Oh, that's cool.
Right now. I couldn't go. I have 3 weddings coming. I'm just too booked. But so you have the giant, and we're giving away awards. There's a gala there. So you'll have the giant conferences and then we can do whatever we want here.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of this is we can be as creative as possible.
That's cool.
The DAC was a Women in IT breakfast.
Okay.
Yep. And it was sponsored by GTT and the Alliance of Channel Women. So we had others in the room and, men for our allyship.
Yeah.
But we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. And that's important too, to have the men as allies. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're honestly, we are the Alliance of Channel Women because at one point you weren't allowed to be the Alliance of Channel Women, right? At one point in our lives. Yeah. Like what? But because that foundation was built with men.
Yeah.
We honor the men who have helped us get to where we are and to be able to celebrate. So we need to keep and include them.
Yeah, that's so cool. So outside of tech and IT and leadership, you're also a mom, as we discussed. Yay. So you just hinted at it. What's going on this summer, mom of 7?
I know, right? So I honestly have 3 weddings: June, July, August.
Oh my gosh!
Back to back to back.
All your daughters?
Nope, no. So, and we're a blended family. I should say I physically birthed 4 of them. The 3 I inherited. Sometimes it feels like I birthed all 7. No, they're actually really good. We lucked out. Our kids are phenomenal. So my oldest, Bradley, is getting married June 19th in Michigan, Shepherd's Hollow. 5 weeks after that, July 24th, my husband's oldest, Griffin, is getting married. Now, her family's from Pittsburgh, so that one's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks after that, our daughter, Danny, she's getting married in Italy. I know. So not only do I get to go to Italy.
Do you need a plus
one?
I know,
1, right? This is my assistant. She's my Alliance of Chanel women assistant.
And I need to bring a videographer.
Sydney. I know, right? Sydney, we've got the whole crew here. I've hired your wedding.
Right.
Pinterest board is done.
Awesome.
We were joking that it's the summer of love, but I said, I think it's the summer of ramen because that's all we can afford to eat out there. We've got all these weddings.
That's it. Noodles for everybody.
Exactly.
Noodles for everybody.
Everyone. But wonderful.
All right. I want to ask you. So first of all, congratulations to the whole family. And that's going to be so fun to just, I would like to be adopted, but that's a whole nother discussion. I want to talk about the living donor because that is, when you and I met, we met at our Detroit Women's Collective that we do here in the Visibility Room. And when you mentioned that to everybody, wait, what? Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. What was the circumstance? Why did you decide to do it? How did it affect you and your family?
Yeah, that is a great question. It was really just to lose 3 pounds. That's the whole. I'm just kidding. It was so. This is. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Yeah. So from the time I can remembering, so my mom's Vietnamese, my dad's from Kentucky, right? Okay. So they met in the Vietnam War. So came here shortly after my dad was, sent back home from Vietnam. And from the time I can remembering, which was about 2nd grade, we were just writing letters to the government, to the embassy, to try to get my mom to be able to sponsor her sister to come to America, right? Because back then it was just paper and pen. I'm dating myself. Just paper and pen, right? You're just writing congressmen please let my parents sponsor. Fast forward, I'm 16 years old. It's the day before my junior prom, and my mom has a major aneurysm. So they tell us she's not going to live through the night. She's going to die. So here, my dad's 40 years old.
Wow.
And he's got 5 kids, and they're like, bring the kids in. This is what's going to happen over the next 24 hours as your mom passes. So she doesn't pass away. She's here today. So while she was in the hospital, though she was in a coma, she was paralyzed for a little while, we got a letter from the government saying she'd been granted sponsorship of her sister's husband, and all of their kids. There's 6 of them, which is unheard of, right? So from April 30th to October is when they came here and we picked them up from the airport. Our lives changed. It was I've never seen my mom so happy. She was walking again and what have you. So within not a very short amount of time, they had gone off and gone to visit, or somebody picked them up, they left.
Yeah.
And my parents were kind of crushed, right? So fast forward, we're now 20 years, we really haven't talked to them very much. They're all doing very well. They're living in Virginia. They just, these beautiful homes, very successful. And my dad passed away at the age of 58, right? Wow. Unexpected, suddenly.
Yeah.
They all came to the funeral, and one of my cousins did not show up. And we were like, where is she? And they were like, well, she's sick. And we're like, thinking, kind of for us, we're like, my dad's the reason you're here, the reason you guys are here. And we're not a combative people. We're just very loving. So we were just so 2 weeks after the funeral, my mom and sister flew to Virginia to see what was wrong. And she was on a transplant list. So I get a call and my little sister's Ann's on a transplant list. She's O positive. I'm O positive. immediately I called my doctor and I said, how do I donate my kidney to somebody in Virginia? And he's like, I don't know, but we'll find out. So we worked with the University of Michigan. The transplant was done at the University of Virginia, Charlottesville. It took about 6 months. Now, during this time, I'm going through a divorce after my dad passed away. My husband and I, we were together like 14 years. We had the 4 kids. And we literally drove to divorce court together. He's a wonderful dad. Like we're still friends today. My poor husband today, because like we're all super close.
Right.
But it took about 6 months, and she's doing beautifully. I had nerve damage in my legs, so it took a while. I was there for about 4 months in Virginia. It took a while for me to really try to learn how to walk again and get all of my motor skills. And then I came back home. Thankfully, I had an awesome boss who let me take that much time off.
Yeah.
So it was the recovery was difficult, but I've learned that it wasn't just that. I'm just a horrible patient.
Oh.
And then, but I became an advocate for organ donation. So I quickly became a public speaker for it. I mentor. So sometimes I'll have just a random number call me and they'll say, hey, I got your number from blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm interested in donating my kidney to my brother. Will I be able to ride a motorcycle? Will I be able to, like all the things that you just don't know, right? So I became that person who can answer those questions.
I think that's so amazing. And I was so touched by it because I have a very close friend whose son needed a kidney and the daughter was able to donate it. And it was a long process to see, because there were, nothing's ever perfect, right? And so you're trying to find the best option.
Yes.
And when you get to a certain point, you have to take what you can take, but then to have 2 kids, to be in surgery at the same time. But that had just occurred when I met you. And it was so, I don't know, just kismet that, that you came into my life so that I could hear the other side of it too. And that I just think, I think, thank you for what you do. I mean, to watch my friend have to go through some things and to know that there's somebody like you on the other side that can help pave the way. I think that's really important.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, you want to get into my magic bowl over here?
Yeah. Oh, yes. And I was not told about this magic bowl, so this is interesting.
All right. So in here
witchcraft?
are some questions that are completely random.
Okay.
They might be about Detroit. They might be about something you really have to put your thinking cap on.
Okay.
Or completely off topic. Who knows?
Right,
and I will read it because my handwriting is chicken scratch.
Because I'm halfway to 100 and I don't have my readers. That too.
Well, I'm not going to say that. Okay, I like this.
Oh, good.
What is a place in Detroit that changes your mood?
Oh, Hudson Cafe. I love Hudson Cafe.
Shout out for Hudson Cafe.
Yes,
what do you get?
Early. My favorite is is one of the eggs Benedict. It's the Voodoo. It's with chorizo. It's just so wonderful.
Yes. And you know what's interesting? So yes, Hudson Cafe is great no matter where you go, but it tastes even better if you go to the original.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom Technos, who's the owner, phenomenal human being, and just the inclusivity. I started going there. So I started covering the Tigers and Pistons as a sports reporter a long time ago. And actually my station was down the street from here.
Oh.
Yeah, it was off of Franklin and Jefferson. So, but when we would have rain delays at the games, we would walk over there and we would eat. And Tom was always so welcoming. But what we got out of that was his staff, the waiters and waitresses were the same. They're all the same kind of amazing human being.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's the biggest lifter and supporter, whereas, some of the other sites he's opened, Courtney, who was one of his, I think she was like, started on tables and then moved over to management.
Yeah.
He basically opened up the spot in Troy and she runs it. And it just to see him lift the employees and how amazing and their hearts. I just
That's awesome.
love Hudson Cafe.
That's awesome. All right. And I think I heard you correctly if you said you were a sports reporter.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I'm really bored in life. Really bored.
This is not okay. So in here just happens to be a question about
she's like, I know which
who's
one
your
it
favorite
is.
sports reporter? Oh, Melinda. All right.
They're like, who's that?
Tell me more.
I know. So honestly, I went through a yes phase in my life where I was, getting divorced and like my dad died and I was super sad. And I was like, I got to figure out something. I'm super poor, like all the things, right? And I was like, I'm going to say yes to everything I've ever wanted to do. And I was volunteering for our son played baseball, Ypsilanti National Little League. And somebody reached out and they were like, hey, our Frontier League team, which is professional minor league team, is playing at Eastern Michigan University. Can you introduce us to your little league? We just want people in the stands because our stadium is being built way out here. So we have to play here for now. We're like, sure. They came out. The president came out. I did like some introductions. And then at the end of it, he's like, you're great. Can you introduce our dignitaries on our opening day? Why, yes, I can. So I introduced the dignitaries on opening day at Ostrike Stadium over at Eastern Michigan University. And then they said, you're great on the microphone. Will you stay with us all season? And just kind of do that. You know, you can like say something in the middle of the game and the beginning and the end. And I was like, I can do that. So I ended up doing that. And it turned into, they credentialed me for, through Wham Radio, credentialed me to cover the Tigers and Pistons. So I spent about 12 years doing that.
Oh my gosh. The more you know. Who knew? Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that because I was like, wait, what did I just hear? All right. This is our last one. Are you ready?
Yeah. Maybe.
And I like this because I've not asked this of anybody yet. Oh. So I have no idea what's going to happen. What's a Detroit rule that you live by?
Oh my goodness. What is a Detroit rule that I live by? I don't know if I have a great answer for this. I would say, be diverse. I think Detroit is the most diverse place I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a Detroit rule, but,
maybe the acceptance of it. Yeah.
Be diverse, be brave. And, you know, Detroit has had they've kind of renovated themselves, right?
Yes,
and that's what I did in life. And I feel like if I was, if you Google Detroit, maybe I might come up because if somebody knew every step that it took, you know, from being a teen mom and then I lived in a trailer and then, you know, to my first, you know, real career job and being where I am today, I feel like I'm the revitalization.
Oh, boom. If I could take this microphone and drop it, I would, but I think that I would not be happy with myself. All right. I feel like we need a part 2.
Okay.
But we got to wrap it up today.
Okay.
But yeah, my brain is just spinning now. So thank you so much. Yeah, you just keep dropping things. I'm like, but wait a minute.
There's more.
There's more. So thank you, though, for coming here and hanging out with us here in this beautiful city of Detroit. And I absolutely adore the thought of being the epitome in the revitalization of your own life and having it be reflective in this great city of Detroit. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Excited for all the things that are happening for you and for your family. And please, please, please come back.
Thank you so much, Karyl, for having me.
You are welcome. All right, everybody. That is it for today. Please like and follow us. And if you have any questions, always be happy to reach out and make sure that you connect with Melinda. Take care.